What is up, everybody? What's going on? Good to see you,
Hey,
man. We got a good group going. All right. I want to talk about something that is so important for us. I want to talk about how we can literally explode our growth, explode our income, take our career to the next level exponentially. But before I get into what I'm going to share with you right now, I want to share with you guys a personal story. We're going to get in the DeLorean and we're going to go back. We're going to go back in time to 1999. Okay. And I did my homework. I did my research here. I remember the dollars and I'm going to convert them into today's dollars. So in April of 1999, I was selling what we would call estimatics insurance. Long story, not insurance, estimatics software. Long story short, boom, your car gets into an accident. The body shop, the collision repair center that needs to repair your car needs to write you an estimate. Okay. In 1999, software was pretty new for that. And I was selling for a company. I'm not going to get into which company I was with, but at the time we did really well in small, we called them mom and pops, small collision repair centers, at most 1 to 2 locations. We were not in because we didn't have relationships with the insurance companies. The company that I was working for was not in what we would call DRPs or direct repair facilities, large, the big boys, right? We were pretty solid with the small players. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because something happened in April of 99, between April and May of 99. In April of 99, okay, I made in commissions that month $11,231. That's pretty good. And I'll tell you what that is in today's dollars. In today's dollars, that's $20,607.54. Okay, when we adjust it. It's a good month, right? For a young ME out there selling estimatics software. But in May of 99, I sold 86,400 commissions. I made $86,432, which comes out to $158,592.34. I know this number very well because that was a huge month for me. I actually bought a condo with that money. It was a 7X improvement from April to May. Here I was, somebody selling estimatics software to little collision repair centers. What the hell happened from April to May that made me make 7X more money? I'm going to tell you, and I'm hoping this will happen for you. I changed my belief system. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about today. My ladder of success, I all of a sudden jumped up like 10 levels of the ladder because of my belief system. I had thought that we only did well with mom and pop collision repair centers. I had assumed that because that's what everybody always said at my company was we only do well with collision repair centers. And I had somebody that I had sold earlier in the year. There's like, yo, we got to go to lunch. He was an adjuster that worked for one of those big companies and got hired at a mom and pop company. He's like, I got to take you to lunch. I'm getting a huge promotion. I just made the company so much money. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, Honda Accord, #1 vehicle in the United States of America. Did you know with your software, you guys, when we do what's called R&R, which means remove and replace a core support or a radiator, with your software, we get 4 more hours, because with the other software that the insurance companies don't realize, they only give you time to remove the core support. Okay. I'm not trying to get technical here. This will make a point. They only give you time to remove the core support, but what they forget is you got to remove the lights. You've got to remove the assembly around the lights. You got to remove all this other stuff to get to the radiator. And I started using your software when I came over to this smaller shop, and I was like, oh my God, you guys don't realize here's dollars that we were missing out on. Changed my mind. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe these big collision repair centers would like to get paid for the work that they're doing. It was as simple as me now all of a sudden calling people that I had never called before with a message that I had never spoken before, because now I believed, after that guy took me to lunch, I believed in my product that it would work for big companies. So that's what I want to talk about today, is that ladder of success. Okay. Our success in sales comes down to 3 things. All right. 3 things. We have to increase our skill set. We've got to change the beliefs that we have. And in this case, I believe that our software did not work with big centers. Totally stupid belief. Okay. And we have to do the right daily activities. Okay. So when we were able to do that, that gives us what I would call this ladder of success. Matt Hummel, you can see my screen. Yes. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. You see it? Okay. Here's the ladder of success. The rungs of the ladder that are going to help you guys climb up are your skills. But the two things supporting that ladder are on one side, your beliefs, and on the other side, the right daily activities. In this situation that I had in April of 99, I had the right activities. I had had the right activities since I was 10 years old. I had really solid sales skills. But what was missing was that half of the ladder, in that I thought this company that I work for and this software that I sell does not work with big DRPs, direct repair providers, right? Big centers. I never even called them because somebody put this stupid ass belief in my head that we're not good for those people. Okay. Once I changed that belief and bolted on, all of a sudden I exponentially went up 7 rings in the ladder. Okay. So I want us to look at those things that we need to level up. For example, our skill set. Okay. If you believe in everything correctly and you've got the right daily activities, but you don't know what to do, you're going to go nowhere. I can do the right activities and I can have the right beliefs, but if I don't have the right skills, if I don't know how to make the call, if I don't know how to close, I'm not going to get anywhere. So what are some skills? And I want you guys to unmute yourself and add to this list. I'll put 3 right on here. So if we're going to increase our skill set, like just right off the top of the bat, we got to know how to close, right? Hey, Tanner, does it make sense to sign the agreement? I got to know how to prospect. Hey, Bob, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. I've got an idea I'd like to get your opinion on. I need to know how to follow up, right? Hey, Robert, as promised, it's 12:07 on Tuesday, calling to see if it makes sense to sign that listing agreement. What are some other skill sets that we could add to this list? Somebody unmute yourself. What's some skills that we could add that would be those rungs of the ladder for us?
Qualifying the lead.
Qualifying the lead. I love it. Who's got another one?
Monetizing.
Monetizing. And if you guys haven't been through the monetization course, monetizing is like if Peggy is going to have a conversation with Kevin, she's now going to monetize. She's going to get her arms around the problem. How much is this costing the organization? If we could fix this for you, what does that mean in terms of top line revenue for the year, for 3 years, for the month, for a week? So now when Kevin goes, hey, Peggy, you know, we're going to push this off until October, Peggy can go, totally get it. Makes sense. I'm confused, Kevin, based on the numbers that you had given me. We're going to be walking away from $97,852 if we hold this off till October. Well, what do you mean? Well, you had told me that the way you're doing it right now, you've got 4 extra employees that are doing it by hand and they're spending those labor hours plus your inability to take on new SKUs for the warehouse. Man, I didn't even realize that. You know what, Peggy? Let me see if I can pull Brett Samowitz into the conversation here. Let's see if we can get this thing back on track. You're right. I had forgotten about that. It's really weird. People forget about things internally. What are some other skill set things that we could change?
I would say gaining an understanding of their past situation, their current situation, and their future expectation.
Yeah, the skill set of being able to, and I would summarize that. Robert just said it really well. I would summarize that. The skill set of being able to slow down in the beginning so that we can speed up the result in the end. Instead of just going right into a sales pitch, a presentation, trying to close, what Robert's saying is we got to slow it down a little bit, figure out what their current situation looks like. What does their ideal situation look like? What's stopping them from getting there? What have they tried in the past? I love all of those. Okay. Let's talk about now those beliefs. Look at this ladder's going to break. I could have all the skills in the world and all the right daily activities, but if I don't have the right beliefs, and I see Phil on there, this is something that I know Phil made some big strides on when he first started, was his mindset. He started having some epiphanies, like his beliefs changed, right? Let me give you some of the beliefs. We're too expensive, right? Oh my God, we are so expensive, right? Looking at the world through our lens, we're too expensive. We got to do on-site meet. Bob, this could be you guys. I don't know if it's on site, but we got to do meeting after meeting. We got to do demo after demo, right? Oh my gosh, I've got to bring a solution engineer out to talk through this, right? That's a belief that, and I'm not saying you don't have to do that, but what I am saying is you guys need to really press your beliefs hard and go, wait a minute, do we, or could I get the person to agree and then say my favorite words, what happens next? Right? Beliefs. Okay. Here's another one. I'm an introvert. And you guys are going to think I am nuts, but I used to label myself as an introvert. Okay. Weird, right? How could the ME, this loud, outgoing person, label himself as an introvert? Because I had that belief. And it's really weird when you have a belief, how that belief will shut you off. What are some other beliefs? Okay. And you guys don't have to, if you're uncomfortable saying I have this, just say other people have it. You don't have to put the belief on yourself. What are some other beliefs that we have that are holding us back?
I don't deserve it.
Go ahead, Bob.
I don't deserve it.
I don't deserve it. Man, Bob just hit on a huge one. Okay. We get into this box of what we think we're going to make. I talked to somebody that was coming on board on Easton University yesterday. He's like, man, I'd really like to make 120,000. And I'm like, what? And he literally, that was the words that he used. He's like, well, I just really feel like I deserve. I mean, he goes, I'm not one of those big dogs, but I feel like I deserve 120,000. I'm like, why not 240? Right? I said, is it capable? Can you answer me this? Do you have a cap at your company? He goes, no. I said, how many leads are you getting right now? He goes, I get about 7 to 10 solid leads a month. I said, if you closed all those, how much are you going to make? He goes, about 120,000, 150,000. If I closed, not even all of them, if I closed, 2 or 3 deals out of the 7 to 10 leads. I'm like, what if you could create another 7 to 10 on your own and close another 2 or 3 of those? He's like, I make 240 to 300. I'm like, have you ever thought about making that kind of money? He's like, no. And it's to Bob's point, he was in his own head of, this is what he thinks he should make. And by the way, this thing in 1999, I know that's a freak month, but that 1 month I made more than almost everybody at the company made the entire year. But I had taken out the belief. I didn't even have a belief of what was possible. I just walked through my activities and my skill set at that point. Once I realized, oh, wait, there's this whole new market of national centers available, I just called them, right? And just went through my process. What are some other beliefs that we might need to change in order for us to all of the sudden jump up that ladder?
I can't handle it if everybody says yes. It's too much.
Oh, man, Julia just hit a great one. This is a belief that kills us, right? Oh, well, that would be too much. Oh my God, that would be too much work. Guess what? You'll figure it out. The same way you didn't starve to death when you had a bad month. Tanner, have you ever eaten Top Ramen? Me? Yes, I see him nodding.
Yes, I have.
You've eaten the Top Ramen, right?
Oh yeah, I've eaten the spicy ones too.
Me too, my brother. Me too, right? There was times in my life when I was like a Top Ramen top chef because I was like, I have specific things that I'm doing and I'm sacrificing. Do I have the cash flow right now? Nope, I'll eat Top Ramen. I'm still here. All of us are still here on this call and all of us have had bad months. We got through it. But to Julia's point, right? If we could use that same logic and realize, hey, the same way that I did not starve to death in May of 2006 or whenever it was you were eating Top Ramen is the same reason why Julia Kraft will figure it out if 100 people sign up for her business, right? We'll figure it out. That's a great one, Julia. I like that. Who else has got some beliefs
maybe
that we
not ready for that next level or that higher level?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. Robert, this is in your industry in real estate. This is a huge one. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. And even personally, we have a good target market of maybe 2 to 5 million, but I keep looking at that 5 to 10 to $15 million estate market. And, my own beliefs have held me back, I believe.
It's scary. It doesn't feel right, right? It feels different. Guess what? You guys are a living being. You're constantly changing. You're constantly evolving, right? I want you to think of yourself like a fish in the ocean. If a fish isn't moving, it's either dead or about to be, right? I want you guys to get comfortable with your evolution. Okay. So beliefs. Does anyone want to add any beliefs before? Go ahead, Kevin. KD.
Poor mindset or poor attitude.
Yeah. Give me a specific example of a poor attitude.
I mean, I would say today's right now, like how the economy is, everyone's just, it's, you either can think positive or negative. It's just the decision every day.
Dude, you just hit on a huge one. And KD, I wish I put that one on the list. Okay. Here's something that we have to realize. We should never bring macro beliefs into the micro of our universe. I'm going to say that again, because it's really important. We should never bring macro beliefs into the micro of our personal universe. And here's what I mean. It works. That coin works both ways. KD just hit the economy's bad. Okay. I had somebody else that I was talking to yesterday that was thinking about coming on Easton University. And they were like, I would never be able to make $650,000. And I said, do you realize that and he said, because the mortgage industry is all locked up. This was a mortgage person. The mortgage industry is all locked up because rates are so high. And I said, I get it. I hear you. By the way, step number one in handling any objection or complaint, agree with them. I get it. I hear you. But do you realize if you took $650,000 in commissions out of the mortgage industry right now, that would literally be like me walking down to the beach of the Pacific Ocean and taking a Dixie cup full of water out of the Pacific Ocean. It would be that inconsequential. Like, we have to realize, I get it that the economy is bad, but any of us individually can still thrive in this economy. And then, by the way, guess what else gets to happen? When the economy turns around, it's just that much easier for us. And the flip side of that coin is true too. A lot of times people think like, oh, wow, look at how professional Julia is. Julia's amazing. I'm the #1 company in the industry. Look at how sharp Julia's dressed. She's so well-spoken. She should be a coach on teaching people how to speak well. She is, but let's just say she wasn't, right? And I look at her and I'm like, man, you are amazing. We want you to work at this company. And she would automatically assume, hey, I'm the most capable person at the most capable company. Of course, I'm going to hit my numbers, right? Not true either, right? The flip side of that coin, nothing's promised. Still, you need to wake up every morning like you're broke and hungry, even when you're crushing it. And when the economy is doing well, you need to wake up with the enthusiasm that you can crush it. And that's a pretty fine tightrope to walk, but that's a huge one. Anybody else got any beliefs?
Yeah, I think that comparison belief is a big one for people. A lot of people tend to compare themselves to others that they think are doing better, and you really don't know.
Yeah, or if you've got an office, like let's say there's other brokers in your office, Robert, and you guys become, and this kills so many people, they become #1 on the leaderboard. Even if your company doesn't have a leaderboard, you guys know who #1 is. And isn't that weird that like Keith Holman will go all the way to #1, and then as soon as he surpasses Ashlyn for the #1 spot, it's like the freaking flaps come down on the airplane and he tables out, right? That belief of like comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to my competition, right? You are running your own race. I want you guys to compete against yourself every day. Let's talk really quickly about the daily activities. This is one I've had huge leaps on this one. You believe you got the right mindset. Julia's waking up every day. She's got the right beliefs that she can take on 100 new clients. She's got the skill sets. She knows how to close, but I'm just not going to do my follow-up calls today. I'll get to them tomorrow, right? I'm not doing the activities every day, okay? And I want to give you guys one. And this is something that I used to run into. And I used to tell before I was a sales coach, I would tell my peers this, and they always looked at me like I had two heads. I'd be like, Tanner, don't stop and take pictures. I would see Tanner would be like, man, I just closed a huge deal. I was like, cool, don't stop and take pictures. What do I mean by stopping and taking pictures? This is in the eastonuniversity.com portal. You close a bit. Emily closes a big deal, right? Man, big deal. It came in. Woohoo. I'm going to go to the mall, right? I'm going to go get some coffee. I'm going to go to lunch. There's plenty of times to go to the mall, get coffee, spend $1,800 at Alo. It's good stuff, right? But it's really expensive. But when you stop and take pictures, and that happens all the time, Tanner closes, he has the monster month, and then all of a sudden his next month will be way down because he stopped all of that momentum and was like, hell yeah, I had a great month. Okay. What are some other examples of activities that we need to change? Maybe not making prospecting calls. Here's a huge one. And I had to retrain myself on this one. Having the courage to every conversation that you have with anybody, like I'm Anthony Taylor, right? Let's say I'm talking to AT and Anthony's like, man, I think this coaching is really good for me. You know, based on everything you're telling me, I think I could get to 250,000 this year. Instead of being like, great, I'm going to send you over a link. Hey, Anthony, does it make sense for you to activate your membership? Right? Having the courage to ask that. And then when Anthony goes, no, got it. What's a good next step? Robert, this one is huge for you and Mary Beth, and freaking hard, easy to talk about on a coaching call, really hard to talk about walking out of coffee with somebody and going, hey, so I really think I understand your situation, Matt, and what you need to do as far as getting the house sold in April. Does it make sense for us to execute a listing agreement? That is a scary proposition. In Bob's case, hey, does it make sense for us to build this app for you? Right? No. Got it. What's a good next step? Well, I don't know. What's a good next step on my end, Anthony? I'm not sure. Totally get it, Anthony. How about I'm going to send you an email with some specifics on the program. I'll put my mobile number on the bottom of there, and I will call you. See, today's Tuesday. I'll call you Friday at 2:30 p.m. if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Right? And it sounds so simple on these coaching calls, but I guarantee you guys, if you make 10 calls, you'd be lucky to set a next step with one, because it's a scary proposition. It's like back when we were kids and we wanted to ask that person to go steady with us or go to the dance with us. And the friend zone, right? You keep having great times. We went on a great walk. I rode my bike by her house. I had this girl, Zora, that I used to ride my bike by her house every single freaking day. I have no clue if she would have gone to prom with me. Maybe she would, maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. I didn't ask because I was chicken. But instead, I just rode my bike by her house. And that's what we're doing on a lot of our deals. We're being helpful, we're being pleasant, we're being polite, but we're not trying to either close or set a next step. And back to the other thing, a lot of times we don't try and close because of our belief system, right? I'll give you an example of belief system. In Bob's case, we haven't gone through how these apps work. I haven't shown him the bits, bytes, blinking lights. So why would I go for the close? Why wouldn't you go for the close? What's the worst that's going to happen? Hey, does it make sense for us to build the app for you? No. Got it. What's a good next step? I want to see the bits, bytes, and blinking lights. Absolutely. I can make that happen. When you say bits, bytes, blinking lights, can you give me a specific example? Yeah, if you could get maybe Pat involved and you guys could walk through what this is going to look like, and if you could show me 3 other clients that have had a similar app. Got it. When you say you need 3 other clients, what makes you ask that? Right? Well, we're just not sure that the app's going to work. When you say you're not sure, what was something happened in the past? Yeah, we went with a company and they didn't make good on their promises. So it sounds like the real issue is you want to make sure that if you do business with us over here at Mobile Frame, that we're going to be able to hit those gates, right? Because of the fact that you said that, what I'd like to do is walk you through how we structure the deal a little bit differently. And in fact, we don't get paid if we don't hit the gates. So we have skin in the game. Oh, that's a huge positive, right? having that belief system. Okay. Here's another one that's huge on our daily activities that I have to constantly remind myself of. Unemotional, systematized follow-up. Man, that sounds high tech. Bob, I wanted to sound high tech because you guys are high tech and we're low tech at Easton University, but unemotional, systematized follow-up sounds high tech. What do I mean by that? If I'm Anthony Taylor, I don't give a crap how that last conversation went. I don't give a crap about if Bob hasn't called me back and it's been 7 weeks. Bob, you guys are dealing with this with a client right now. Unemotional, systematized follow-up. What that means is I'm not going to get real excited because Tanner was really interested and break my process and call him back the next day. I'm going to trust my process and call Tanner in 48 hours, right? And then if Tanner doesn't call me back for a month, I'm still going to go through my follow-up. What are some other examples for you guys of activities that help us fill that activity ladder, right? That give us that ring on the ladder of activities. Go ahead, KD.
I try to do at least 77 activities a day, breaking down between emails, LinkedIn, and calls.
Yeah. And do you see where now, like, stopping and taking pictures? Probably the days when those 77 are going to have the most impact are the days that you cut out short because you closed a big deal, and I don't want to pretend to understand the mojo of professional athletes, but I'm just going to tell you, I've been around a few of them. Okay. And they will tell you this. It's a mojo thing, right? Like when you are scoring first downs, do not pull. I don't care if I have plantar fasciitis. Okay. And I can't walk and I'm old. I have been completing passes all freaking day long. I want to stay in the game. I'm good. Right. And when we stop and we take ourselves out of the game and don't do those calls, those were probably the calls that were going to be the best. Okay. Does anybody else have any activities you want to add to this list?
I think for me, it's a morning routine, making sure that I'm staying true to my morning routine.
Yeah. Like if you're doing a daily goal sheet, like I'm doing, boom, there it is. I do it every day. And it's really weird when I don't do my personal daily goal sheet. Guess what happens to my day? Whole thing falls off the rails because now I'm constantly playing catch up with my day. You guys don't have to do everything in Easton University, but when I do these goal sheets and I'm like, I want to make X amount per year, I'm now focused and channeled and like the small stuff doesn't matter. The big stuff doesn't get missed. Boom, boom, boom. I hit my stuff and I don't get off. I love that. How we do our morning is setting us up for success or failure for the other day. Anybody else want to add any things for activities? Okay. We're good with some of those. I want to show you guys this quick graphic, and then we can open it up for questions. This is what happened to me with the software example. My beliefs were like down there. I don't think we can only sell to mom and pop shops. As soon as I changed that, I had already had all the skills in place and all the activities in place. And I jumped all the way up to the tune of 1 month, $20,000 in today's money. The next month, $158,592. The only thing that changed was that belief. Okay. Same thing with activities, right? Julia could have the right beliefs, the right skills, but she could be like, I hate follow-up. I hate follow-up too. But our ladder does not work if that side of it is broken. And as soon as she fixes the follow-up or whatever those activities was that she was missing, her ladder goes up, right? Now, it's not that simple for a lot of us. Sometimes it's 1, 2, or 3 of these, right? I got to add skills. I got to change my belief, right? I think when Phil started, he was about in here. He had pretty decent skills. He had some problems with beliefs, but then he started to add things to his ladder and his ladder got full. Okay. I want you guys to realize this. This is a huge thing for us to realize that if we have the right skill sets and we have the right mindset and we do the activities, it doesn't matter what's going on with the economy. It doesn't matter what's going on with our competitors. It doesn't matter what's going on with our company. Again, don't bring macro problems into our micro world. We're going to be able to climb that. It is impossible for you to not climb that ladder. Who's got questions or comments on this or anything else? If you work in sales and you need to make twice as much money as you do right now to really enjoy your life, you've really only got 3 options. Option number 1, you can continue to work your butt off in the job you have right now, hoping for some sort of miracle to happen, where you start taking home double the money while doing things the exact same way you do them right now. That's pretty unlikely. Or option number 2, you can look for another job at a totally different company, hoping you're gonna catch some sort of once-in-a-lifetime wave where sales just seem to flow your way. All right, again, highly unlikely, and we both know waves in sales, well, they don't last very long. Or option number 3, you can click the button here and get instant access to a simple, straightforward sales process that will help you take home twice as much money as you do right now while putting in far less effort than you do today. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University, the most effective sales coaching system in the world. If you click the button, you're gonna see how our interactive sales coaching portal and weekly live coaching sessions with me will help you double your income within 60 days. Easton University is more than an interactive sales coaching portal. It's more than being able to ask me questions in a live setting every single week. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the button. I will see you on the other side. Your life is about to get a lot better. Click through now.